and welcome to this cat-cow flow. So for today I'm going to be offering it without props, but know that if you have any props that you like to integrate into your practice, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll be in lunges for a little bit, so if you want something for underneath the knees, you can find a towel, a blanket, a pillow, a cushion, whatever it may be that you have. And let's get started. So we'll find our way into a child's pose. Toes can come together, knees wide, or you can set the knees and heels in line with one another. Send the sit bones back so the toes untuck. Then reach the pinky fingers up towards the edges of your mat. Index fingers point forward. Let the forehead rest down to the floor. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Take one more to arrive on your mat. And close the mouth, breathe in and out through the nose. And plug the palms down into the floor. And then on an inhale, lift the middle of the palms as you press through the heels of the hands, the outer edges of the thumbs, the pinkies, and the tips of the fingers. Try to maintain that suction cup of the hands as you curl the armpits towards the ears, offering more space between the ears and the shoulders. And soften through the forehead. Start to rock the forehead from one side to the other. And rock through the shoulders, dipping one down, then the other. And integrate through the hips. And as you move here, perhaps inviting an intention for today's practice of being in the flow, of going with the flow, of flowing with it. Not worrying about whether what you're doing is right or wrong. Just tuning into how it feels in the body, and trusting that my words are guides and your body knows what's best. And trying not to take it too seriously. And we center back in child's pose. And inhale, shift the weight forward, coming into a modified plank. So walk the hands underneath the shoulders as you straighten through the back, tuck through the toes. And then hug the hip bones together as though you were zipping up a really tight sweater. Maintain that suction cup through the arms. Press up through the shoulders. Inhale here. As you exhale, send the sit bones back. Let the head drop down. Child's pose, toes stay tucked. Here's our flow. Inhale, forward. And exhale, shift back. Inhale, forward. Do this one more time. Exhale, back. Sit bones away from the fingers. We inhale our way to tabletop. Walk the hands back so the wrists stack underneath the shoulders, the hips over top of the knees. Find a slight bend to the elbows. On an inhale, drop the belly, open through the chest, lift up through the sit bones, finding a cow. Exhale, round through the chin, look towards the belly, finding a cat. Inhale, drop, spread through collarbones. Exhale, gaze comes to the belly as you come in. And inhale to release. We'll find one more cat. And this is really the basis of our flow today. So we'll be taking lots of variations of these two. Come back into neutral. We'll combine those two movements together. So come into your modified plank. Inhale here. Exhale, press down. And inhale, send sit bones back as your chest looks forward. Exhale, look towards the belly button, round through the spine. Send the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale to open up, send the hip bones away. Just flossing through the spine. We'll take one more, creating space for lubrication of the discs between our vertebrae at the spinal column. And also more fluid and space in the spinal canal, which runs through the vertebrae and holds our spinal cord, the center of our nervous system, in addition to the brain, of course. And come forward, and then shift back into child's pose. Let the toes stay tucked. Find a full breath in. Exhale, melt the belly down towards the thighs. When we inhale, press up through the hands, stay rooted through the feet. Come to stand on our knees. So hands walk towards the knees. We guide ourselves up. Exhale, and actually let's keep the toes tucked. And we'll take the hands beside us. We inhale, sweep the hands up, palms face back, lift the hips forward, lift the chest forward. As we exhale, sweep the hands behind us, bring our sit bones down towards the floor, sweep the palms back, and feel the pinky fingers come a little closer towards one another at midline. Flow here, inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. And send the shoulders to stack over the hips. And take one more. And stay steady through the breath. And we inhale to rise, stay at the top. As we exhale, interlace left fingers in front of the right fingers, bend through the elbows, send the elbows back. Take the palm of the hands behind the head. And inhale, lift up through the back of the neck, send the chest forward, hug the low ribs down towards the hips. Inhale again. As we exhale, curl the elbows towards one another, tuck the chin in around through the upper spine. Try and stay stable through the legs, keep the hips forward, inhale, open up. And exhale, we curl. Inhale to open. Take one more. And then stay here. Sweep the arms all the way out. As we exhale, curl forward, bring the sit bones down, bring palms towards one another, round through the spine. Inhale, open forward, palms face forward, but send the shoulder blades towards one another. And exhale, lower through the sit bones, tuck the chin in. Last one. And exhale to curl. And keep the sit bones down. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up, turn the palms to face back. And then send the fingertips all the way up towards the sky, root down through the sit bones. See if you can create more space between the shoulders and the ears. Squeeze the biceps towards the ears. Take one more full breath. And then we exhale, let the hands come down to the floor. With the toes tucked, lift your way up into a forward fold. So send the sit bones high. Bend into the knees, let the head go. Bend the knees so much that our belly rests onto the thighs. And then walk the right hand towards the midline of your mat. Start to straighten through the left leg as you bend through the right knee. Sweep the left hand all the way up to sky. Maybe gaze looks over the left thumb. Exhale, lower down. Switch hands, straighten through right leg, bend left knee, right arm sweeps up. Then we exhale to lower down. Inhale, straighten both legs, hands to shins, flat back, halfway lift. Keep the chin tucked. Exhale, release the hands down to the floor. Bend through the knees a lot. Inhale, sweep the hands wide, rise up to stand. Exhale, take the hands through the heart and all the way onto the hips. Moving into Tadasana. I like to practice with my feet hip width apart. Woo, that was a fun one. However, you can bring your feet together if you need to. Stack the hips back over the heels. Send the shoulders over the hips. Lift up through the back line of the head. Then lift up all 10 toes. Spread them wide. Feel yourself root down through the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the heels of the feet. And then soften the toes down. Try not to grip through them. Press through the outer edges of the feet, and then imagine as though you had a block between the thighs. Squeeze them in. Nice. Then take your thumbs to the low ribs and your index fingers to the hips. As you inhale, see if you can spread the fingers apart. Create more space through the side body. Try to maintain that integration through the legs, through the side body. We release the hands alongside us, palms face forward. Inhale, hands sweep all the way up to sky. Exhale, let left hand come down towards the thigh. Sweep the right arm all the way over, right palm faces down. Curl the right arm to reach back. And exhale to melt. So that shoulder presses against an imaginary wall. Then we inhale up to center. Exhale, come down to the right side. Send left fingertips away from the left heel. Try and stay neutral and strong through the hips. Melt in a little bit more. And we inhale, sweep up to sky. And exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way down to the floor. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, bend through the knees, plant the hands to the floor. Step the left foot all the way back. Drop the left knee down, coming into a low lunge. So our left knee and our right heel are on a train track. They're not in line with one another. They're about hip width apart. Send the right knee out towards the right pinky toe. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Tuck up onto those left toes. Send left hip forward, right hip back. This is our stable base. This is where we want to be every time we're in a lunge through this sequence. And walk the right toes slightly forward. See if you can dip into that knee anymore, but make sure it's not going past the ankle. We inhale here. Exhale, straighten through the right leg. Send the right sit bone towards the left inner thigh. Inhale, come forward. An option to stay with that variation, or as you exhale, dig through the heels, lift the toes up, point the right toe mounds towards the front. Inhale, come forward. Take one more. Then inhale to stay in the lunge. As we exhale, root through the fingers, round through the spine. Bring gaze towards belly, tuck chin in. Keep legs as they are. Inhale, drop through the belly, open through the collarbones. Gaze comes forward. And flow here. Finding a cat-cow in lunge. And so as we progress through this sequence, try to keep this variation in mind. We'll be building here, but you can always come back if you're feeling like the deeper variations are too much. Nice. And then stay at center on the inhale. We'll lift up through the left knee. Coming into a high lunge, stay grounded through the fingertips. And as we exhale, straighten through the right leg, drop the left knee down to the floor. Inhale to come up into your lunge. Send the chest forward. Exhale, round through the spine as you drop the knee down, straighten through the leg. See if you can curl through the chest. And inhale to come forward, lift up the knee. Exhale, we curl. Stay at the bottom. Walk the right foot all the way over to the left side of the mat. Keep the right leg straight. Send the right sit bone towards the inner thighs. Squeeze the inner thighs together. So imagine as though your legs are scissors. Stay tucked up onto the left toes. Walk the hands to the outside of the right foot. Press the right toe mound into the floor. See if you can lift up through the toes so that the grounding's not coming through a gripping of the toes. And maybe you keep walking the fingertips all the way to the edge of the right side. Try to straighten through that right leg as best you can. Exhale, sink in. Inhale to hold. Exhale, maybe twist a little more through the torso. And then we walk our fingertips over the front foot. Walk the right foot a little closer towards the middle of the mat. And then fingertips walk over towards the left as we pivot through the left knee. Pivot through the right foot, so we're on the inside of our right foot and tenting up, creating a kickstand with our left knee. So our toes are tucked on the left foot and our hands walk all the way to the left. So the imaginary line between the hands is also in line with the knee, which is in line with the middle of the right foot. Press down through the outer edge of the right foot. Exhale. See if you can drop right shoulder down, lift left shoulder up. 2 more breaths. Feel into the inner line of the right leg. On an inhale, reframe the right foot. Swivel the right foot and the left. Coming into a low lunge, we tuck left toes, lift up off through the knee, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sigh it out, lower down. This time, right foot steps all the way back. Exhale, we drop the knee down. Find that foundation of the legs for your lunge. And maybe walk that heel just a little more forward so that when you straighten through the leg, you stay stacked with the right hip on top of the right knee. Then let's flow. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Keep the toes down for the first one. Inhale, come forward. This time exhale, toes can join in for the ride. And inhale, bend through the knee, look forward. Take one more of this variation. Plug that left sit bone towards the right thigh, but keep lifting up through the right hip. And then come forward, stay in your low lunge. Inhale, exhale, look towards the belly, round through the spine, stay in the lunge. Send that left knee out, inhale, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale to curl. Inhale to come forward. One more of this variation. Keep squeezing inner thighs towards one another. And then we lift up through the right knee. Really lift up through the back of the right knee. Come all the way up onto your toes. Keep sending that left knee in towards the left inner arm. Inhale here. As we exhale, lower the knee down, straighten through the left leg. Inhale to come up. And exhale to lower, maybe the toes lift. Inhale up. Last one. And stay down, straighten through the leg, toes stay lowered, walk the left foot all the way out to the right. Keep the toes pointing forward, plant the hands to the outside of the left foot. Squeeze the inner thighs together, send left hip back, right hip forward. Then lift up through the toes as you press down through the left big toe mound. Walk the fingertips towards the left side of your mat. Keep pressing down through the back line of the left leg. Notice where the mind is wandering. If you're shaking a little bit, you feel the tightness, try not to judge yourself. Try to feel into your breath. Try to stay with the flow rather than labeling or judging. Next inhale, walk the hands around the front foot, come all the way over to the right. Kickstand the right knee and toes, turn onto the inner edge of your left foot. Find that imaginary line from between the hands to the right knee to the middle of the left foot. Press down through the outer edge of the left foot. Keep those right toes tucked. And then drop the left shoulder down, lift up through the right shoulder. Send the hips forward and feel into the inner thigh of the left leg. And steady through the breath. Try to find more length from the left heel to the top of the head. And hands reframe the left foot as you twist through the knee, through the foot, tuck up onto the right toes, plant down through the left foot, lift up through the right knee, step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, melt the chest down towards the floor. Bend the knees a lot. Sweep the hands, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come through the heart. Inhale, release the palms alongside you, finding your Tadasana. Feel the foundation of the feet. Stack the joints over top of one another. Feel light and open through the heart center as you ground the low ribs down. We inhale, sweep the palms overhead, palms face back. As you exhale, bend through the knees. Sweep the palms face down behind you. Squeeze the pinky fingers towards one another as you lower the sit bones. And you inhale, straighten through the legs. Rise up, open the chest. Flow here, bending into chair. Press down through the feet to rise up. And we exhale to flow back and down. Keep that back line flat. And we inhale, stay tall. Interlace the left fingers behind the right. We inhale to open up. And exhale to round. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. Plug the elbows towards one another. As you inhale, open, send the elbows away, chest lifts. Take one more. Inhale, open up. And exhale, spread the hands wide. Inhale here. Exhale, sink the sit bones down, finding your chair. Keep lifting through the chest. Exhale, curl forward. Tuck the chin in, bring palms towards one another. Inhale, open through the heart. And exhale, curl. Inhale to open. And exhale to curl. See if you can sink those sit bones down any further. Inhale, open, sweep the arms overhead, palms face back. Exhale, sink in. Squeeze that imaginary thigh block between the thigh. And inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, twist open to the left. Keep the hips facing forward. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way down to the floor. Walk the hands to the left. Exhale, sink in. Stay here for one breath. And press the right hip away. Inhale to center. And over to the right. Inhale, send left hip away from the fingers. And exhale to melt down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend the knees a lot. Find your fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips plant down. Left foot steps back. So you can take the same flow we practiced with the knee down, or we're adding on by keeping that knee lifted. Press the back of the left knee away as you lift through the left heels. Then we inhale in our lunge, find a long line through the spine. As you exhale, keep the toes planted, straighten through the right leg. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, press back. Send left hip forward, right hip back. And we'll take one more. Then we inhale into our lunge. Stay here as we exhale, round through the spine, look towards the belly. Lift through the upper spine between the shoulders. Then drop the belly open through the collarbones. Exhale to curl. Inhale to open. One more. And stay here. Option to drop the back knee all the way down, or we're gonna pulse, keeping it 1 inch off the floor. Then you can choose whether you'd like to lift the right toes or keep them grounded. We inhale long. As we exhale, straighten through the right leg, drop down through the left knee. Inhale, come forward, drop the right foot down. Exhale to curl in. Inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, curl in, straighten through the right leg. Then come all the way back. Straighten the right leg. Walk the right foot over to the right. You can always drop that back knee down. And then we hop our left foot all the way to the right. So, sorry, right foot comes to the left. And then fingers come to the outside of the right foot. Find that scissor sensation through the leg. So squeeze the inner thighs together. Send left hip forward, right hip back. Maybe the fingers can walk further to the right. Let the head go. Keep lifting up through the left heel. Steady through the breath. Notice if you're gripping through the toes. Maybe you press through toe mound, lift the toes up on the right foot. One more full inhale. Exhale, melt in. Inhale. Hands walk around the right foot as we turn our toes to face towards the long edge of our mat, finding a wide-legged fold. So adjust your feet so that they're in line with one another. I like to have my toes pointing slightly in. Let the fingers come all the way towards the left foot. Press down through the outer edge of the right foot. And breathe here. Send weight into the toes, lift the sit bones up. And walk the hands to frame the right foot. Pivot onto the left toes, bend into the right knee. Step your way forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Plant the hands. This time right foot comes all the way back. Set up through the legs. No, you can always drop back knee down, or we press the right knee up and away, lift up through the right heel. Squeeze the inner thighs together, send that left knee out towards the left pinky toe. We inhale. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. Send left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, come forward. Exhale to straighten. Inhale, forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, hold the lunge. As you exhale, turn the gaze towards the belly button, round through the spine. Lift up through the right heel. Exhale, drop the belly down, open through the chest. Exhale to curl. Inhale to open, spread the collarbones away. And exhale, curl. Inhale, come back to center. And remember the options. So back knee can come all the way down to the floor, or we can play with a 1-inch hover. We exhale, bend into the knee. Maybe the toes lift, maybe the toes stay grounded. Straighten through left leg and come forward into the lunge. Exhale to bend into it, round through the head. Inhale, straighten through the right leg, send the chest forward. Bend through the left knee. We've got one more. Stay strong. Then we inhale into our lunge. Straighten through the left leg. Walk the left foot towards the right. Off the right foot to the left. Hands come to the outside of the left foot. Press down through the left big toe mound. Send the left sit bone towards the right thigh. Squeeze the thighs together. Maybe the fingertips walk towards the left. This feels really juicy for me. See if you can lift up over that right heel. Remembering if this is too much, you can drop that back knee down. Take whatever variation feels best for your body. One more inhale. Send the fingertips and sit bones away from one another. Exhale, sink in. Inhale. Turn into a wide-legged fold. So adjust your feet. Find a flat back. And as you exhale, fingertips come towards the right toes. Root down through outer edge of the left foot. And I said it before, but I like to have my toes turned slightly in, heels slightly out. I find it gives me more balance and more depth through my inner legs. Weight comes into the toes, lift up through the sit bones, melt the head down. Let the shoulders be really heavy. And then walk your hands to center this time. Inhale, halfway lift, hold here. Take your hands onto your thighs, send the sit bones and head away from one another. The next inhale, press into your legs, rise up into a wide-legged stance. Turn the toes to face out, heels to face in. And then there's no right angle for the toes. Every body is different. We're all structurally aligned in a different way. So find whatever feels comfortable to bend into the knees and have the knees pointing over the toes. Good, and then we straighten through the legs. Inhale, sweep the hands overhead, palms face back. As we exhale, bend into the knees. Bring the palms behind us. Squeeze the pinky fingers towards one another, palms face down. Inhale, straighten through the legs, sweep up. And exhale, come down. See if you can get those sit bones any further. Inhale, come up. You take one more. This time as we lower, see if we can guide the knees back towards the back line of our mat. Nice. Inhale, come tall, stay tall. Left fingers come ahead of the right fingers as we bend through the elbows, bring our hands behind the head. Inhale, open through the chest. Exhale to curl. Send elbows towards one another, around through the spine. Inhale to open. And exhale to curl. One more. And exhale, curl. And then we open up, spread the palms away, turn the palms to face forward. Exhale into our goddess squat. So send the knees back, send the shoulders to stack over the hips. Inhale, open through the chest, maybe send the palms further back. As we exhale round, hold the legs as is. Inhale to open. And exhale to curl. If you're not feeling the squat today, you can always straighten through the legs and just move through the chest. Then hold at the bottom of the curl. We inhale, lift the hands up, turn the palms to face back, Sink down a little bit further. Keep guiding those knees back. Open through the chest. Find a full inhale. Exhale, drop the sit bones. Inhale. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, straighten through the legs, reach the hands up, press them together. Exhale, hands through prayer. Come all the way down to the floor. Turn the heels, the toes face in. Let the head go. And plant the right hand underneath the forehead. Inhale, sweep the left hand up to sky. Maybe gaze looks towards the thumb. Exhale, left hand replaces the right. Inhale, right hand sweeps up. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hold here. Take the hands towards the thighs. Press the sit bones and head away. And then rise up into a stance. Pivot the toes to face out. We inhale, sweep the hands overhead. Exhale, sink into our squat. Inhale to lift through the chest. Exhale, let the left forearm come down onto the left thigh. Sweep the right arm over. Right palm faces down. Curl through the right shoulder. Send it back. Take an inhale for more length. Keep plugging the sit bones down towards the floor. Then we inhale to center. Stay low through the legs. And exhale to the right. Open through that shoulder. Send the left middle finger away. You've got this. One more breath. Inhale. Rise all the way up. Straighten through the legs. The hands come down to center in prayer. Find the suction cup sensation through the hands. So a slight hollowing between the palms. Heel toe your feet so that they come hip width apart. Point the toes out. Inhale. As we exhale, lower down. You can stop halfway and just let the hands rest on the thighs, or you can meet me into a malasana, the full low squat. Press the outer arms towards the thighs and open up through the chest. Send the thumbs towards the middle of the chest, the sternum. Stay light on the toes. Send your weight back over the heels. Keep lifting through the back line of the neck. Steady the breath. Exhale, sigh it out. And fingertips come down to the floor. Walk them behind you. Release the sit bones down to the ground. Straighten through the legs. Wiggle them out. And then we take the soles of the feet towards the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Bring the toes together. Tent up onto your fingers. Walk the fingers back. Coming into some boat variations. If you're not feeling the core today, we can always keep the feet grounded. And so with that, for this first variation, we just move here. All right? Otherwise, if you're coming with me, we'll take our legs so that they're parallel to the mat. Keep our fingers tented up behind us. Straighten through the legs and then hug the knees in. So adjust your arms as needed to support you. And knees come in. Take one more. Kick the heels away. And then hug the knees in. Then you can drop the feet down or keep the legs lifted. the legs stay as is, and we just curl through the upper body. So inhale, we lift the chest forward as we exhale, round through the spine. Inhale to lift, and exhale to round. Inhale to lift, keep rooting through the sit bones. Exhale, curl. And then you've probably guessed it, let's combine the two together. Inhale, straighten through the legs. Maybe you take the hands to float, curl through the chin. Exhale, come in, open through the chest. And actually, let's exhale to come down. Feels a little bit nicer. Inhale, open through the chest. One more, you've got this. Exhale, open, curl the chin in, straighten the legs. Inhale, send the heart forward. Then stay here if you can. You can always drop those feet down. Inhale, sweep the hands overhead. As you exhale, open up to the left. Bring the right hand in front of the left thigh. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, come all the way up. As you exhale, lower your forearms down to the floor. Start to lean your way onto your back. Keep the legs lifted as you can, bringing them into a 90-degree angle. Then plant the palms down. Straighten through the legs. We inhale here. As we exhale, dip over to the left with the toes. Stack the right hip over the left, keep the toes floating. Root down through the right shoulder. Inhale up to center. Exhale to the right. Float the feet. Inhale to center. Exhale, hug the knees in. Awesome job. We've done the hard work. Just rock through the low back. Whew. And take your hands just below the knees and circle the knees away from one another. Actually, it might even feel better to have the palms right on top of the knees. Let the toes and ankles be loose. Once you're in the middle, circle in the opposite direction. Take one more full circle. And drop the knees in towards the chest. Take the hands onto the shins. Start to rock and roll your way up and down the spine. Try to let the movement be through the core rather than through the arms or the legs. Eventually, come all the way up into a C. If that didn't work out for you, just meet me in a C. And you might want to turn onto the long edge of your mat, as I'm doing. We'll straighten through the right leg and take the left sole of the foot in towards the right thigh. Press down through the right heel, the toes stack on top, and take your fingertips behind you so that you can find the alignment through the spine. Root down through right sit bone. Nice. And then you can hang out here or fold forward. Fingertips walk in front of the left shin, and we come straight down, so we're not moving towards the right side. Maybe find that suction cup sensation through the hands, let the head go. And focus more on hinging through the hips rather than rounding through the spine. So for me, this is where I'm getting today. I went biking yesterday, so my hip flexors are feeling a little bit juicy. And surrender to your breath. As we move into the cool down, try to let go of any holding, any labels that you've created for yourself through the flow. We have this tendency to do 99% of the things right, and then the 1% that we find a challenge with is what we really grasp onto in our minds. So use your mat, use this practice to try to detach. Try to erase whatever it is in the past, whatever you fear in the future, to just be present. Especially important right now with what we're going through. If you're watching this in 2025, we're currently in the COVID world. It's really fun. And fingertips walk you up. And take your hands over to the left. Turn on to the right inner edge of the foot. Press into your left knee. Find that kickstand. We've been here before. Root down through the outer edge of the right foot. This time, walk your left hand in line with the knee, which is in line with the middle of the right foot. Press the hips forward. Inhale, sweep the right arm all the way up to sky. As you exhale, turn the palm to face down. Find a long line from the right middle finger to the outer edge of the right foot. Maybe the chin tucks up towards the right shoulder. Gaze stays soft. Keep pressing both shoulder blades into an imaginary wall. Exhale, the gaze turns over the left shoulder. Release the right hand down. And then tense up onto your right toes. This one's a little bit funky to get into, so adjust as you need to with your body. Option 1, plant through the hands, and you'll keep your left knee bent as you take your left knee all the way out to the right side. And then drop on to your left hip, and this is your stretch. Option 2, we're going to straighten through that left leg, plant through the outer edge of the foot, and then walk it forward. Let the hip come all the way down to the floor. Adjust the arms, so bring your left fingers further out to the left so that your shoulders are in line with one another. And stay tall or melt down onto the forearms. Find a similar sensation to Sphinx through the arms, so the elbows stack underneath the shoulders. Press down through the forearms, feel the shoulders lift, and then send the collarbones away from one another. Let the chin tuck, let the head be really heavy. And find more length from the right heel to the top of your head, and from the left hip to the left heel. It's like a tug of war movement between the left foot and the left hip. See if you can drop the right shoulder down, lift up more through the left shoulder. Squaring through the chest. On an inhale, bend into the right knee, start to lift up through the fingers. Right sole of the foot comes to the inside of the left leg as we bring the left leg long. Take your fingers behind you to set up and stack on top of the sit bones. Plug in through that left heel. The left toes point towards the knee, and notice that they stack over top of the heel. Try and maintain that as best you can even as you fold forward. Know that you don't need to fold forward. You can always stay here, or fingertips come out in front nice and wide. We walk ourselves forward. Stay open through the chest, hinge through the hips. Really plug the left hamstring, so the back of the thighs down and towards the floor. So this is my edge for today. I'm staying here. You can always come into that suction cup of the hands if you're feeling like you can get that low. Let the head release. Keep rooting through the left sit bone. And feel the rhythm of your breath through your body. Notice if energy is still building, that heat is still rising, or if it's beginning to cool down, mellow out. Keep sending that left heel away. And over time, inviting gravity to send the chest further down. And come up tall onto the sit bones. Walk the hands over to the right. Pivot through the left foot. Find kickstand through the right foot as you come up onto your right knee. Align the left foot, that mid-arc, to line up with the knee, and then the right fingertips join. Press through the outer edge of the left foot, send the hips forward, inhale, open up through the left arm. As we exhale, send the left palm down, roll the left shoulder back. Good, find more length from middle finger to outer edge of the foot. Perhaps the gaze turns up towards the left shoulder. Chin tucks in. Keep breathing through the side body. Exhale, chin tucks down towards right shoulder. See if you can keep that length between the low rib and the hip that we worked with earlier. On the right side as well as the left side. When we exhale, left hand comes down. Turn through the right leg, lift up onto the left toes. Same variations on this side. So right knee can stay bent or right knee can straighten. Plug through the hands. And for me, it's easier when my right hand is further out to the right. It gives me a little more leverage to lift up and kick the right foot out. Then lower the hip down. Remember that knee can be bent. Send the chest forward. Stay tall. If you explored on the other side and it feels accessible here, drop into the forearms. Root the forearms down to rise up through the shoulders. Spread the collarbones away. Let the head be heavy. Lift up more through right shoulder, drop down through left shoulder. Try to square through the hips. So squeeze the inner thighs towards one another even as you press that right heel away. You find that tug of war between the right hip and the right heel. Keep lifting through the left heel, send the top of the head away from the heel. We'll find 2 more breaths. And if you're on your forearms, come up onto your fingertips. Turn yourself. Bring the left foot down. Sweep the right leg towards the left. Come onto your bum. And lower your way all the way onto your mat for Shavasana, our final resting pose. If you have your hair tied up, it might feel good to let it loose. If you have glasses on, jewelry, watches, anything that feels restricting, maybe take it off. Let the feet come wide. The heels can drop off the edges of your mat. The palms face up alongside you. If you need some layers, you can add them on now. And press down through the back of the head. Walk the shoulder blades a little bit closer towards one another and flatten them down onto the floor. And press down through the heels. Do the same thing with your sacrum. So guide it forward, tilt the tailbone up slightly, then release it onto the floor. There'll still be a gentle curve of the low back. And humble tuck of the chin so you have full length through the back line of your neck. Exhale, release. Bring your attention into the heart center and the shoulders. And feel the flows there. Movement of the breath, rhythm of the heartbeat, a pulse. Maybe you can feel your shoulders twitching, any muscles releasing after all the effort they've expelled. Release control of your breath. And see if you can flow into this state of surrender. In yoga, we do the work so that we can rest in stillness. We're doing so that we can be. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need to, for the benefit of the home practice. You can always just turn the video off and reside on the mat. Otherwise, start to wiggle through the fingers and the toes. And circle through the wrists, circle through the ankles. And sweep the arms overhead. Send the toes away from the fingers. Inhale, hold at the top. Exhale, hug the knees in and hold at the bottom. And we'll take one more. Inhale, reach all the way down. Hold at the top, point the toes, reach the fingers. And exhale to hug in. Hold at the bottom. And smoothen out the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Rock through the low back. And drop over to one side. Find your bottom hand underneath the head. Your top hand rests in front of the chest. Inhale, and sigh through the mouth. Connecting to that innate self. We were born in fluid. We were born to just be in the flow. And press up through the top hand. Moving into a seat, whatever that looks like for you today. And take right hand towards the heart, left hand over top. Bow the mind to the heart, the chin towards the chest. Find an inhale to thank yourself for showing up, moving, and being. And then exhale to set an intention of moving through this world as much in the present moment as you can. You're trying to smile a little bit more, worry less about the anticipation of not knowing, or the fear, the guilt of what has been. Hands together at the heart. Inhale and release. And from my heart to yours. These videos are made through love and hard work. Your contributions allow me to keep sharing new content with you. If you're able to give back financially, please click the Make a Donation button on the homepage of this channel. You're also welcome to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest video offerings. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't be Kona!